how you can help in this process as well. Ricker.
All right, all right. Thank you, James. Thank you for having me. Hello, everybody. My name is Ricker Yankowski. And that'll be all. Thank you so much. So I'm going to tell you just a moment, a little bit about saving the children, why I'm here, who I am, and what the cause really is, and why Trump must win. Saving the children is based on the integrity that one voice can achieve greatness. Together, we can become louder than the enemy. But what does saving the children even mean? Saving the children from what? Saving the Children Group.org, just saying, provides awareness to others from researchers from around the world. And what we do is we document and source the true evil of our vanishing children. What vanishing children? Exactly. That's what Saving the Children Group does, and explains the factual numbers and documentation. Did you know, for instance, let's see what we got here. You got signs throughout this place if you want to take a look at them. This is a crazy one. Did you know this? 8 million children vanish. That means poof, gone, bye. Every year. That's 900 children per hour. Now that's worldwide. In the USA, it's 800,000 children missing, poof, vanish, gone. In the USA, every year. Did you know that? I didn't either. I didn't know any of this stuff till March. So where do they go, and who's doing this? And what could President Trump possibly have anything to do with this? So learn as our one voice merges together, and together we can save the children with awareness and prevention. So what I'm asking of you tonight is to become a voice. One person, one voice, one mission, one cause. Nothing is what it seems. The year 2020, need I say more? We are at war with God against the devil. The good against evil. Get an amen on that one. Now you got Preacher Ricker coming out. Let me tell you guys something. I am a Christian. I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ in my heart. And I profess that in front of all of you in the world, whoever sees this. And I am not at all ashamed. A little bit about myself. Growing up was not easy for me. I had difficult times. At the age of 11, my parents, well, I guess they didn't know how to handle my what was going on with me. So I was kind of probably not the best kid. So they decided to give up my parental rights, and I went to the Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranch. And I lived there for 2 years. I can honestly say from the bottom of my heart, there has been nothing bad whatsoever with my experience in me growing up at the Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranch. But overall, it was a wonderful experience. So if the cause here tonight is also to donate to the Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranch, I live there, I've been there, I was at Saul's Cottage, I know about it. Amen, they're good. So Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranch, if you want to donate, I'm telling you, I'm a living person, I'm still alive. So that's that. Now, how did all this saving the children stuff start? So a couple years ago, God gifted me with a son named Ryan, who I deeply, deeply fell in love with. And I wanted to be his father, his legal father. But when you're a single person and you're not married, what do? Well, you go to court. So that's what I did. I went to court. So I went to court. I got the paternity test. Well, no, excuse me. I went to court and I asked the judge to grant me, the paternity, to do the DNA test. And the judge said yes. Well, the mother of my child decided to take off, and she left the state, and I had no idea where she went. And I was full of hate. I was full of anger. Where's my son? I love him so much. Where's he at? So I started something on Facebook called Saving Baby Ryan. And I'm looking for my son. And then I decided, well, I know the mother took him, but maybe I should check out missing kids or missing children or figure that one out and maybe go that way and try to find my son that way. In March of last year, God from above, Jesus Christ, opened my eyes to truth. And let me tell you guys something. The truth of what is happening with our children is pure, absolute evil. As a matter of fact, I have a whole presentation to share with you. Your mind's gonna get blown in some things, but let me tell you something. What I'm sharing with you tonight probably isn't even 20% of what I really want to tell you. Because if I were to tell you the God's honest truth of why I'm doing this and what's really happening, number one, you won't believe me. And number two, I won't be able to share the videos on any kind of social media because they'll block it. So I have to watch what words I say. The one thing that God above gave all of us is the gift of free will. Now what that means is you too, you all have the right to believe whatever it is you choose to believe. So even though I might say I'm a Christian, it doesn't mean that you have to be a Christian, and nor am I trying to preach to you about Christianity. I'm just saying I'm a Christian. So in my search for missing children, a friend of mine, did you hear about the kids in the tunnels? Did you hear about all this crazy stuff? I'm like, what are you talking about, kids in tunnels? Like, what? Like, it doesn't even make sense to me. But she wouldn't leave me alone. So I decided to do some research. Something I want to share with you, and I wish, unfortunately, I don't have a live camera to show you what I want to share with you. I got a picture of something I want to share with you. I want to tell you guys how all of this kind of, in my opinion, got started. First off, let me go over some figures with you, some numbers, and we'll come back to that. If you guys want to get out your cell phones, if you want to get the pad of paper and pencil that was given to you up front, if you want to know more, every single thing that I'm telling you is not speculation. I have documentation on every single thing that I am telling you. These are facts, not speculation. You can go to savingthechildrengroup.org. You can go on the Contact Us page. You can ask a question to us. You can subscribe, put in your email. You'll get updated blogs. But what I did is I decided I wanted to know more about this. What do you mean missing children? That's just absolutely nuts. 25 million women and children vanish each year worldwide due to human trafficking and satanic rituals. It's very hard to understand why anybody would want to do this to our children. I know I had a hard time understanding it. So I wanted to learn more, and I did. I'm going to show you a picture. I know that you can't really see this, but the cameras can. What you're looking at, Lieutenant Colonel, Psychological Operations, 1st Special Forces Regiment, United States Army, he's retired, dead, Michael A. Acuno. This is what he looks like when he was younger, before he started the Temple of Set, S-E-T, which is Saintism. This is him, Lieutenant Colonel. He handled the entire west side of the United States of America from like 1965, I believe, to like 1970 something. I'm sorry, I don't have the exact numbers. I actually probably do, I just don't want to look at them. But the point is, he brought Satanism into the military. Child sacrifices. And I'm not even going to say what else they do because it's just horrible. So this guy basically brought witchcraft, evil, Satanism. I'm going to say the name again, and I really want you to grab a pen and paper, and I want you to write this down. Okay? Because when you leave here tonight and you're like, I heard this guy and he said this, and no. I want you to do your own research, do your own investigations. This is what I found. I want you to come up with your own, with your own truths. What did you find? There's a coworker. I told her about this. And she goes, nuh-uh. I said, yeah. She goes, nuh-uh. I gave her the name. She Googled it, and she goes, oh, my God. So the name, again, if you like to write it down, he goes by the name Dr. whatever. Dr. Michael Aquino, and that's spelled A-Q-U-I-N-O. Temple of Set. Then what happened? In the 90s, some of you might have heard of this. This might be the first time. I want you to do your own research. I don't expect you guys to believe what I'm telling you, because what I'm telling you, I didn't even believe myself. You might want to write this name down too. The name is Phil Schneider, and I'm going to spell that for you. P-H-I-L, Phil. And that's S-C-H-N-I-E-D-E-R. He's a geologist and an engineer. I'm going to take a brief moment and just give you a brief description of who this guy is and what he does and what does this even have to do with saving the children. And then basically what I'm going to do, I'm building this up. I'm trying to tell you what happened in the past so we can understand what's happening now and with the Trump campaign, why Trump must win. So I'm going to segue this all together. You just got to bear with me on this, okay? Phil Schneider was a U.S. government geologist and an engineer who was involved in the construction of what's called, write this down, deep underground military bases. Now, these are also known as DUMBs. The acronym is D-U-M-B-S. He was assassinated for disclosing the truth about the U.S. government and the cover-up of UFOs and aliens. This was the most secretive project ever undertaken by man. Now, what Phil Schneider did, Google this guy, watch his videos. It's crazy. He was the first person in 1995 to ever publicly disclose the magnetic levitation trains which connect all of the deep underground military bases. I don't think I want to read this anymore. I think I'm just going to talk. There are over 200 deep underground military bases located in the United States of America right now. Now, that's just America. That's not Africa, Europe. These are worldwide. What they have, and you can find it at savingthechildrengroup.org documents. Look for yourself. Don't believe me? Do it right now. Go to documents. You'll see them. They're these big, huge underground subterranean systems that actually melt the molten when they're inside the ground. It causes like a glass fixture over top, so there's nothing that needs to be constructed with it, and they build these bases. Denver Airport, you guys probably know about that one. It's like, I mean, some of these things are like, oh my Lord, yeah, huge, you're right. I mean, we're talking like was it, one of them has 8 cities. These are miles, 88 miles, 88 square miles, and a lot of these deep underground military bases are all interconnected with each other. What does this have to do with saving the children? Human trafficking is not just human trafficking to what you think it is. Human trafficking can be analyzed or looked at in all different fashions. It's not just the perverted uncle that you leave your kid with that you shouldn't do. It's not that. It's a $1 trillion a year market, and what they do, and thank God for Trump for making that border. I'll tell you what, when they bring children or the women across, if we didn't have that wall in Mexico, how easy is it for them? And the corrupt, and I'm not talking against the government, understand. I love America. I'm not talking bad about the government, but when you have open borders and you have children that are being trafficked with the women and turn them into sex slaves, and then where do they go? And I'm not saying that all these deep underground military bases are evil. I would say about 30% of them still need cleaned up. That brings us to earthquakes. Now, I know this because an earthquake has what's called a P wave. A P wave is a preliminary wave. When you have a natural earthquake, what happens is you have a P wave, which is an amount of energy that shoots down into the ground. And then you have what's called an S wave. That's called a secondary wave, and that shoots out, and that's what hits our little monitoring stations. And then they can tell if it's a 6.5 or a 1.5 on the Richter scale. So what I do is I took the time to research. And I noticed where these military bases are, which you, right now, can find every single location. I only posted the first 100 on the website. But if you want to know the longitude, the latitude, who owns it, what it is, if it's good, if it's evil, check that website out under documents. SavingTheChildrenGroup.org documents. It's all right there for you to see. So what happens is when I see earthquakes, the first thing I want to know is it the good guys cleaning them out? Are they saving the children? Saving the children from what? Why would children be underground? Why? I'm not going to tell you why. Because if I did, you wouldn't believe me. I wanted to know too, because once I started, I couldn't stop. I have a full-time job. I work 40 hours, well, almost 40 hours a week. But when I'm not working, I go home and I research, and my heart, my life, my devotion, my love for Jesus Christ, my understanding, my research, I know what is true and what is not. And the reason why I know this is not because of what somebody told me. I know this because I took the time to do my own research. And I'm telling you guys, take the words I'm telling you, take those names that I told you. What is a DUMB, D-U-M-B, Deep Underground Military Base? Just really to understand how they were actually trafficking our children. When you have, and now we're getting political, when you have the Democrats in control of our country and the world, well, they control those bases. And then if you notice, if you want to do some research, you could overlay a map of where the majority of the missing children go, like in the United States, let's say. And then what you do is you look at the same map of where the underground caverns are, and you're going to notice they match up almost perfectly. They are taking our children from us, and nobody knows this because the mainstream media is corrupt. They have an agenda. Write this down. I'm not going to tell you any more than this one word. In fact, I probably shouldn't even say it, but I'm going to say it. Agenda 21. Does anybody know what that word is? Anybody? I'm just curious. You do? Okay. It's horrible. We need Trump to win. The United States Atomic Energy Commission and the United States Energy Research Development Administration took out patents in the 1970s for nuclear submarines. The first patent was in 1972 in the U.S. Atomic Energy Commission. The nuclear submarine has an advantage over the mechanical tunnel boring machines that it produces no muck that can be disposed of by the conveyors, trains, trucks, and this is greatly satisfying for the tunneling. So just check out the tunnels. I'm doing a 5-minute warning so I can try to close here. Earthquakes are important to understand if they're natural or not. There is a war. The war, the silent war, is not the virus. Okay? The silent war is the good guys worldwide going into these underground tunnels. I could name the places, locations, or you could go to the website and see it yourself, where they actually go in and they rescue the children. What are they doing with the children and why? I can't tell you that. You have to find that out on your own. I will tell you that they had the Mercy ship in LA, California. I can tell you that over 3,200 children were rescued. I can tell you that they had the Comforter in New York, and they had up their makeshift hospital over in Central Park, and that was all for the children. You have to understand more. You have to research. What I'm saying may not make sense to you, but it's okay. It's hard to understand. Let me close with this on a positive note. You do have something called the Judicial Commission of Inquiry into the Human Trafficking of Child Abuse. And I'm going to read this and then I'm going to close. Enough. The purpose of this commission is to do what has never been done before, to document the actual totality of missing children each year. Preliminary estimates yet to be documented are at 8 million a year or 22,000 a day. Now this is children. This isn't women and children. This is just our children, our kids. So there's a committee out there. There's organizations out there. You've got Rescue 33 that does a phenomenal job. They're all undercover. I can't tell you much more about them. You have Rise Up, Operation Underground Railroad. They're phenomenal. You hear about them. They're a good group. And then you have SavingTheChildrenGroup.org. And I would like to close by saying that, my fellow Americans, we must come forward and utilize our skills and talents that God has given to each one of us. Allow us not to depend 100% on socialism to make this country strong, but rather depend upon yourself by living the American dream. Remember, success is the key. You are the key maker. One voice, one mission, one vote. Vote Trump.